Hi, how are you? Welcome to Remember's Corner. I want to talk about compressors. Compressors, there are two that we use in sound engineering to manage dynamic range. Now, dynamic range is our audio working level above noise floor and below distortion. Noise floor is when you, like for example, a radio at home, when you take up the volume when there's nothing playing, you hear this shh sound. If it's on a mixer, when you take up the gain or you take up the fade on a channel, you hear that shh sound. So that is noise floor. And then when you've got a signal coming through a mixer channel, for example, and the signal is too loud, it can be like from a keyboard or from a guitar, but the signal is like too loud, you see like red lights. And then when you play that sound, for example, when you send it to the speakers, you hear like a crackling or kind of sound, that is distortion. So that workable signal place that we have just above that signal floor and below distortion, that is dynamic range. So so different pieces of equipment have got different dynamic range, that place where you are hitting that sweet spot. So for example, now if you before compressors, for example, when you had someone speaking on a microphone, for example, when the person just shouts, your whole system will just distort. But then when they speak soft, you can't hear them, you have to push them up. So 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 now, to manage that kind of scenario, when someone shouts, you have to take down the fader. When they are soft, you have to take up the fader. So the challenge there is just when someone is shouting, they are, the level that they are sending, it is too high for the system to actually handle. But when they are soft, they are too low, so we have to push them. So what a compressor does for you in that particular scenario, for example, is you are able to set, like on your mixer, you're able to set the level. When someone is soft, you're able to set a level where you can hear them. But then now when someone then shouts, now, right, when you put a compressor in that signal chain, you can basically set on the compressor that when someone shouts, right, the level that is going to go into the speakers will only go up by this much. Like for example, if someone shouts and their level changes by, let's say, two times or three times as compared to when they were soft. So you can say a compressor, if they increase their level by three times or four times, I want you to only come up by one time going to the PA system. So that way now you basically manage the dynamic range. So you don't have to be taking up a fader, taking down a fader. So compressors are really like a very very essential tool in live sound. It just helps you manage dynamic range so that you're not running around like trying to keep the sound perfect up and down on a fader. So for me, I use them mostly if I'm doing a conference. I usually set my compressors on the question and answer microphones and the headset microphones for the speakers, because you get someone who just speaks so loud or they want to shout. But if they just shout like that, they can actually in a way mess up with the audience. So I just make it such that when their level gets to a certain place, it just doesn't go up at the level that they're basically getting their signal into the microphone. For like bands and stuff, I do put a compressor again on the lead vocalist, backing vocalist. I also use it on drums. But the key things are just trying not to use compressors without the necessity, you know. But it is just a tool that helps you manage that dynamic range. Another example out of sound is basically, you must think of a compressor as something that helps you get the picture. Like for example, if someone is using a camera to take a picture of an elephant, there's no ways you can fit the elephant into the camera. but you see a picture of an elephant on the camera once the camera has captured. So that ability to fit that big size in a small space and still retain the detail, that is what a compressor does. So yeah, thank you very much. Looking forward to have you more on my Remember Corner. Thank you very much. Bye for now.